अगर पहले से लोग आ जाते हैं ना तो फिर लोग बहुत बोलते हैं सर। ये मैंने कहा 2 मिनट पहले बस कर दिया है, मैंने ऑन कर दिया है।
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Karina Malik. I welcome you all. I would like to introduce Mr. Mohammad Maqbool. He is chartered accountant from England and Wales, Canada, and Pakistan. He is also a fellow member of FCA and CPA UK. He had been a council member of Institute of Chartered Accountants of Pakistan. He had been the president of Pakistan Institute of Public Finance Accountants, PIFA. He had been vice president, chairman of education and training committee of ICAP. Currently, he is member of Accounting Standards Board of Pakistan. He is academic advisor to various higher educational institutions. He is co-opted as a council member of Chartered Institute of Public Finance Accountants, CPA UK. He is leading Becker USCPA in UK, Canada, and Pakistan. Now, I would request Sir Maqbool to start with this presentation. Over to you, sir.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I thank you, Karina, for introducing me to the participants or the audience, whatever we call. And I also thanks everyone who is with us in this webinar on the process of becoming USCPA. You see, USCPA is a very unique qualification. I am involved with this qualification for the last 10, 11 years now, and have been extensively giving people counseling on that, being a mentor, and being a tutor as well. So I am attached with the Becker since 2008-9. Was very historic movement. Development took place at the end of April when the exams became available for Pakistani nationals in Middle East. They can go on visit visa to Middle East and take the exam. Earlier, the candidates from Pakistan were required to go to US to take their exam. And you know, it is very difficult to get US visa for many of our candidates. What was used to be the case, all the professional like chartered accountant, cost management accountant, ACCA who were interested in doing the CPA US, many of them were used to get a visa to go to US and take the exam. But for them, the difficulty was going there, staying a month or more, taking the 4 exams, then coming back. And the regular student like MBA, BPA, BCom honor, accounting and finance graduate, they were not used to get visa from American embassy to go to US state exam because, you know, students normally are considered that they may not return back to Pakistan. So they were not used to get the visa. Now the situation is very different. Now anyone can go to UAE, to Bahrain, Kuwait, and take the exam. And you know, UAE and Bahrain is an easy destination for Pakistani to get a visit visa and go there. Now this is a time where the people should plan for these exams. Instead of only professional planning to take this exam, now the graduates can also take the exam. When I make my presentation, you will see there's no difference between graduates and when I say graduate, mean at least 4-year degree holder. And the professional, there's not much difference in pursuing this exam for graduates and the professional. Rather, in my calculation, graduates are better placed because they can be evaluated by many states to take the exam. But the professional who do not have the degree, they are eligible to take USCPA exam, but they are limited states where they can be eligible to take the USCPA exam. So I will be giving you complete presentation on the process of becoming USCPA, which is for professionals as well as for graduates. So graduate have a very golden opportunity basically. Instead of doing the qualification of those institutes where they are 20 paper, 21 paper, 18 paper, they can just now do the CPA by taking just 4 paper and 1 year professional training is required to become USCPA. Once you are USCPA, you have opportunity to become chartered accountant of certain world-renowned institutes. So therefore, there's a 1 in 2. A graduate, a professional who become USCPA, he can become the chartered accountant of certain institute, which I will be covering in my presentation. With this, I start my presentation by sharing my screen. But at the end, I will take all the questions you people would be having. Is my presentation visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Basically, my presentation name is Global Value of USCPA. And the Becker is basically the course provider for CPA. Study package would be provided by Becker, which is the US most respected and renowned CPA course and system provider. Okay, my agenda is about USCPA. What is the USCPA qualification path? What is the process of becoming USCPA? And what are the exams involved? As I said, 4 exams. What are those 4 exams? What is the structure of those 4 exams? And the last one is how the Becker can help student to prepare for USCPA exam. You see, as I said earlier, the USCPA has a global value. Let me now define why we call it have the global value. Once you get the USCPA qualification, you have the knowledge of US GAAP as well as IFRS. There is a certain difference between the IFRS and US GAAP. And the person who will be qualifying as a USCPA would be having the knowledge of both. Second, this designation is the only designation which is allowed to do accounting practice in US. No other accounting qualification allowed to do accounting practice in US. USCPA qualified people are having higher pay, and they have the top role in the organization where they work. I will request that everyone should mute their mic usage. Any company listed on US stock exchange and its subsidiaries, no matter where they are established, they have to do filing with the Security Exchange Commission of US, and for that you need USCPA qualified person. Even a company from Europe, but that company is listed on the US stock exchange. That company and all its subsidiaries, no matter where they are located, they need to file certain reports and certain accounts with the Security Exchange Commission of US, and therefore they would be looking for CPA qualification. Similarly, US-based companies and organizations operating internationally, they prefer to recruit the USCPA qualified person. And USCPA is the most respected accounting qualification in the Middle East and Far East. Just last week, I was discussing with the CPA, because I'm a council member of CPA. We were discussing something about the recognition of qualification. CPA has recruited an international director who was working in Middle East. So I had a first Zoom meeting with him last week. So when we're talking about the placement of certain qualification, he immediately said in UAE market, no one can compete the USCPA in Middle East market, Saudi, UAE and all. Other qualification also acceptable like Pakistani chartered accountancy, UK chartered accountancy, they are acceptable. But you see the CPA has most respected image. If someone has US CPA qualification, he has more chance to get outsourced work from US, from North America. India is getting a lot of outsourced work from US. And many people never thought that what is the reason why India has a lot of accounting outsourced work, getting a lot of outsourced work from the North America. The answer is India has many US CPA qualified people in India working for many accountancy firms. This is one of the major reasons. Just I tell you, last week again, I got a call from a person who is a candidate of US CPA. He's in the process, but it's one friend of mine who's running a chartered accountant firm here. He's getting a job from US, chances of getting the job from US. But to file his profile, submit his profile, he needs some US CPA as a part of his firm. So is there anyone in my who I know? So then I connected to them some of my students who's a US CPA and working in Pakistan, running a chartered accountant firm. I said, why not you go together and share the assignment in this way? You will be able to successfully bid for this work and you will get the work. Because you cannot work from North America, no matter how many other qualified person you have in your firm, you will not get the work unless you have a US CPA working with your firm as a one of director or partner or senior staff member. As per American Institute of Certified Public Accountant, 75% today's CPA is going to retire in next 10 to 15 years time. So this indicates the future value of US CPA, not only in their own country or Middle East or Far East, rather within America, they would be needing people having this qualification. And once you become US CPA, then under the MRA, which the AICPA has with other CA bodies, you can become a chartered accountant as well. That's why we say it's a fast track to CPA and also a CA qualification. And this is a list of MRA accounting body with which US CPA has arrangement that after becoming US CPA, one can become member of any of this country as a chartered accountant. Scotland, Ireland, particularly from Europe, and the Far East, Hong Kong, and then from Africa is the South Africa, very strong Institute of Chartered Accountants. Then Canada, Australia, New Zealand. You see, when you are US CPA, after passing 4 papers and 1 year experience, you become a member of some of these US accounting state board. Then you can become the member of you can hold the qualification from these CA institute as well. And some institutes you don't have to take any additional paper if you want to just become member, unless you want to practice there. If you want to practice there, then you have to need some post-qualification experience, which is required by each country. And also you have to do as one aptitude test covering the local tax and law. But if you just want to become a member because you want to do a job, are you living out of Scotland, Ireland, Australia, Canada, but want to hold their qualification as a chartered accountant or CPA, then you don't have to take that exam or paper. Okay, there's just application process is there. Now, this is the process of becoming US CPA. Let me start with the business graduate, maybe BBA, MBA, BCom 4 year, accounting and finance 4-year graduate, and also let me say chartered accountant already, a cost management accountant of Pakistan, and ACCA, all along with the graduate, they have to do 4 paper, a 1-year experience, and they will become USCPA. Once they become USCPA, they can, by applying application, by putting up application, they become Scottish or Irish chartered accountant, or maybe CPA chartered accountant of other institutes. I put Irish and Scotland, no paper is required. Unless you want to practice in those countries as a chartered accountant, then you have to have 2-year experience, more experience than which is needed to do the USCPA. More than that, 2 years more than that. Not a new one. If you already have a 5-6 year experience, sufficient. But it should not be 1 year experience. If you want to practice, you need to have a 2-year additional experience, and then you become their chartered accountant. If someone is already Scottish or Irish chartered accountant, or Canadian chartered accountant, or CPA, or Australian chartered accountant, he only have to take 1 paper instead of 4 papers to become USCPA. That's called MRA, Mutual Recognition Agreement. Another option is when you become USCPA, you take 1 paper of the CIMA, which is a strategic case study paper, and you become the CGMA, Chartered Global Management Accountant. That is another option. So this is the progression path. In brief, I said, any professional accountant or any graduate, which is a business graduate. I'll talk about certain things under education requirement in a few slides later on. So if you are a graduate or you are a professional accountant, you have to take 4 exams. Which 4 exams I will let you know. Okay. What is included in these 4 exams, I will talk about that. But 1 year experience, right? If you are already professional accountant, you don't have to have more experience there. Your current experience is sufficient. But a fresh graduate has to do 1 year experience. And you know, most of the institute requires 3 year, 3.5 year experience to gain their qualification. But for USCPA, you take 4 papers and you do 1 year experience on it. Okay. Then how to become USCPA? So here is the 3 requirements basically: education, exam, experience. Education means the education you should already have before you start USCPA. That means education. Eligibility education. And then exam, experience. As far as exam is concerned, no matter which accounting state you select, US has 55 accounting states and territory. Each has its own education requirement. But the exam, which is 4 papers you have to take to become USCPA, are same, whether you're taking your exam from with the Alaska state or Guam or Michigan, California, no matter which state. Exams are same. The difference is in education requirement and experience. When I say education requirement, certain do not accept professional accountancy qualification. Like certain states do not accept ACC at all. Certain states do not accept the chartered accountancy and cost management accounting education. But certain do accept. Certain says you can only take exam if you are even graduate, if you have under 50 credit hours. And certain states say, no, with under 20 credit hours, you can take a USCPA 4 exam, and the rest 30 credit hours you can add later on. Actual requirement is under 50 credit hours before you become the USCPA. But you can start taking exam when you have under 20 credit hours. Most of the 4-year degree from Pakistan, BCom, BBA, Bachelor in Accounting and Finance, they have around 130, 134 credit hours. So that's good enough to take exam, right? So that's the education, vary from state to state. Similarly, experience vary from state to state. Some want 1 year, some want 2 years. Most of them want 1 year experience. but some are there which want 2-year experience. And now that experience could be, certain states say it should be earned under the supervision of a USCPA. Some say no, it should be only verified by USCPA. Some say no, it should be earned under any professional accountant, maybe under a chartered accountant. And some say it has to be in a accounting practice with the accounting firm. Some say no, it can be with the businesses, with the bank as well. Some say it can be university education experience as well for the teacher, academic education experience. So here also the difference, state to state, the difference is there. So when I say every state is unique, it's from the education and experience point of view, not from the exam point of view. Exams are the same. Okay, there are 4 bodies. When you want to become USCPA, you deal with the 4 bodies. AICPA is American Institute of Certified Public Accountant, is a professional organization for CPA in US. They are responsible for developing the exam and validating the score when a person qualifies as a CPA. That is the role, setting the exam and announcing the result. Now, state accountancy boards, they are the professional accounting body which issue license membership to USCPA, not the AICPA. Accounting state board like Michigan Accounting State Board, Alaska Accounting Accounting Board, Michigan Accounting Board, they issue the license to people for the membership and for practice. And they use the exam as a tool to fulfill their regulatory responsibility. Whoever passed the exam, which is set by AICPA, they accept that as a starting point for the membership. NASBA is the National Association of State Boards of Accountancy. That is their association. Once the Association of Accounting State Board are there, so they, last bullet is, they address issue with the regulators relating to the accounting profession. One voice for the all 55 territories and states accountancy boards. That's the one voice. Okay. And this also maintain the national candidate database who are taking the USCPA exam. And the ProMetric is a testing place. They get the paper from the AICPA. They schedule the exam with the candidates. They administer the exam and they send back the results of the candidate back to AICPA. Exams are computerized. Let me tell you, all exams are objective type. Some are multiple choice question and some are other question, but there's no long question you have to write and long question you have to solve, right? That's what we call simulation. So I'm going to go in detail later on. So this is the 4 bodies. As a student, a person has to deal with these 4 bodies. I put this link, but I have explained all in the previous slide. And now, as I said, basic rule is one should have under 50 credit hours to become CPA. But certain states allow you to take CPA exam when you have 120 credit hours. And some states even allow you to take exam while you are still studying at the university and you are about to complete your degree within the 6 months from the taking the USCPA exam. So you can start taking CPA exam 6 months before your degree completion date. But for that, you need to provide a letter from your university. Okay, so there are certain states which do allow that, not all states. We as expert guide you people the which state you should select according to your education. Even we can say you that you file your application for, oh, let me go to more slides and talk about that. Here I only conclude here. Normal education requirement under 50 credit hours, which is a 5 year of education after the secondary school. 4 years the Graduation 1 year on top of that. You see in America and many Western countries, MBA and master degree is 1 year to 15 months long. They don't hold 2 years and more lengthy degree, right? So that's why I say 5 years of college education come to 150 credit hours. Okay, that's the general 150 credit hour. But certain state allows you with under 20 credit hour, even less than under 20 credit hour, because you are about to complete your degree within the next 6 months. Many people are advised when they are in the final semester of their university, they should start thinking of preparing for CPA exam and taking the exam along with your final semester, or maybe soon after your final semester exam. So there's a process of becoming USCPA, which I will be explaining to you, but it is available on our website at this link, right? So if you note this link, you can access write-up. I'm going to talk about that, but later if you want to see what is the process, so we have written it, 3-4 pages there, length of material is there. Okay, so basically the first thing for us being a foreigner, we need to have our academic evaluation done. And that is done by NASBA, International Evaluation Services, NIES, or other evaluation agencies. You have to have this evaluation. We advise people which evaluation agency they should go for and which state they should select for their exam, right? Because we have experience in that. We advise that. Rather, I say, you see, this evaluation takes 5 to 8 weeks before you get your evaluation. But during this period, you will be just waiting. You cannot start preparing the exam because you may think if you buy the study material and later on your evaluation is not satisfactory, you will be wasting the money, okay? So solution is, if we advise you, go for that state and go for that agency for evaluation, we can guarantee you to buy your study package. There are 4 exams. We may advise you to buy 2 exam material and start your preparation. Don't waste 8 weeks. But in case, God forbid, your evaluation not satisfactory, we will refund your fees. Okay, we'll take back the study pack and we'll refund your fees if you work on our advice. Okay, this is the one thing I said. You don't have to wait for 5 to 8 weeks. Okay, when you apply for this evaluation, so you pay around $225 to $350 to that evaluation company for your evaluation. What evaluation they do? They, after going through your document, they will say in their report, you are equivalent to US bachelor degree and your credit hours are such and such. Let me tell you, why we say business graduate? You cannot take USCPA exam unless in your earlier study you have covered certain credit hours of accounting subject, certain credit hours of business subject. Let me tell you, you need to have 18 to 21 accounting credit hours. And you need to have 21 to 24 at least your business credit hours. You know there are 3 credit hours for one subject, which means you need to have 6-7 subjects at least in accounting. Otherwise, they will not allow you. So that's evaluation company work out for you. You are equal to US bachelor degree and also you have certain number of accounting and business credit hours which are required by that state. So we help you. Maybe a person came to me and he was having only 15 accounting credit hours. So I asked him to go to that particular state. He was successful there because I know certain states allow you even with the less. There are 1 or 2 states, not many. But we have the knowledge of that. Okay. So this evaluation agency's job is to rate your qualification equal to American qualification and also say how many accounting credit hours are there, how many business credit are there. Then the accounting criteria, it has to be financial accounting, corporate reporting, cost accounting, management accounting, financial management, tax, audit. So 6-7 subjects from this discipline. So that's the accounting criteria. And business is everything. Business law, business communication, management, marketing, everything is other relating to business item. That is a business. Okay. So total 120 or 150 criteria, out of which 21, around 21 on average should be accounting, and around 21 should be business. Rest can be any other. Okay. So to do this evaluation, also you have to send this paper. And we advise you also on that, which paper you should send, in which form. Should they be original or they should be a tested copy? How to be attested? How to be placed in the envelope? We advise you all on that. Because if you send the paper not according to the requirement, then your evaluation will be delayed. Okay? So normally it has to be original or certified copy by the respected institutions where you have studied. Okay. After that, once you get the satisfactory evaluation of your foreign academic credential, then you apply for exam with the state board. The state board we have already decided when we got our evaluation done. So to that state, we pay $100 to $200, depending various state board charge various different fee. We apply for the candidates as a candidate to them. They register as a candidate. And they take 3 to 4 weeks and they issue us the letter for the registration, which is valid for 90 days. Within that 90 days, we have to apply for our exam. We apply for our exam to the NASBA. Okay. And they issue the notice to schedule exam, and NASBA charges the examination fees for each paper, depending which paper you want to take. All the 4 or you want to 2, accordingly you pay the fees to the NASBA, and they take 3 to 6 weeks and issue a document called notice to schedule exam. So they give you the permission now. You go to the Prometric website and book your exam date. Exams are computerized and take place all the time. There's no set date. Exams are on demand. Most of people, what they do is, they take one exam now and the second exam after 6-7 days. So they can make a good revision in between. My son, younger son, Ali, he's also USCPA. He took his exam over 2 months. Right? He booked his first exam, which was 15th of April, and start on 1st April, booked for the 15th of April. And he prepared himself for 2 weeks, practiced well, then he went and taken the exam. After taking the exam, he booked another exam, which was the 30th of April, 15 days later. He again worked hard, did a good revision, good practice, and taken the exam. Then he booked another exam for 15th of May. 15 days, does the same thing. After 15 May, book another exam, which was the 30th May. In this way, he passed all his 4 exams. He select the date, he select the location as well, right? Which you can decide which is like if you go to Middle East, you may have the option to book an exam in Dubai or book an exam in Abu Dhabi. Okay. So this way you can decide which location, which date. Exams are held throughout the year, except each quarter, 20 days, there is no exam. Each quarter. So there are 4 quarters. So 20 days into 4, 80 days in the whole 365 days, they don't hold exam. Otherwise, they hold exam on every working day. Okay, every working day, they hold exam. So you can schedule the exam and prepare yourself. In between, you can keep the gap. You see, the person I'm telling you, my son, he got 89% to 94% in all the 4 papers. right? Pass first time and also taking 15 days in between, 15 days in between. So when you pass the exam, then you apply for the CPA lessons from the state. And for the CPA lessons, sometimes you have to add more education. Like if you already have 120, 125, you need to add 25 credit hours. So that you should have at least 150 credit hours. We guide people also on this further education as well. But there are 2-3 states where you don't have to add further education, but still you get the license, mean membership. Okay? You get the membership. There are 1 or 2 states, not many. Two maximum I've studied, 2 states. Otherwise, you have to have under 50 credit hour and get that. Okay, once you are license holder, then you can go to any other chartered accountancy country and ask for the reciprocal basis chartered accountant. This is the whole map of becoming USCPA. Okay, if you are taking the exam internationally, you can take the exam internationally, but you have to pay additional fees, which is for the whole 4 paper. Okay, let me say, normal fees to take 4 paper is about $800 to $900 for all the 4 papers. But that is if you are taking the exam in America. But if you want to take exam in on any international center, then you pay $1,426 for the 4 exam, right? And you can pay exam wise, not the whole 1,426. You pay 1/4 of that for 1 paper, 1/4 of that for the 2nd paper, 1/4 of that for the 3rd paper. Okay, so that's I call the surcharge, or I call the convenience, fees of convenience. Because if you have to go to UAE to take exam, one is the certainty you will get the visa, visit visa. Second, you can go there. By landing there, after 2 days, you can take your first paper because you went there, well, you were all prepared. You just sorted out yourself and taken it. And the second exam you taken after 4 or 5 days. And within a week, you come back to Pakistan, start your job, join back your work. And then after 2 months, 3 months, when you prepare for other 2 papers, go and take the exam. Much more convenient. So that's why they charge this additional fees of administering the exam internationally, because they have to spend also cost to validate the exam taking place internationally, overseeing the exam taking place internationally, right? They charge for that. Okay. Once you schedule the exam with Promatic, you can change the exam date. If you change it more than 30 days in advance, then there's no fees of changing it. Otherwise, if you are changing near to the exam date, I mean, at least 5 days before the exam date, then you can change it by paying $35 each paper for the change of date. Okay. Sometimes you say emergency take place. People cannot take the exam. They are not prepared. 4, 5, 6 days in advance, they can change. But if it's less than 5 days, then you waste your fees. Okay. So there are 55 states, as I said. And only 9 states do not hold the exam internationally. Rest 46 states and territory hold exam internationally. Okay. So we always advise those states which hold exam internationally because they accept international experience as well. A state who do not hold the exam internationally, they are not very friendly state for international students. Therefore, we always try to avoid those states. Okay. So this is about this process of becoming USCPA. Now, international testing center. These are the international testing centers. You can take exam in US. Anyone can go to US and take exam in US. No additional charge, no additional fee. You pay normal examination fees. Only difficulty is the visa. If you have a visa and afford to stay longer in US, then you save 1,426 and go to US, take exam there. Otherwise, you go to Middle East, and Middle East, list of countries are there whose citizens and long-term residents can take exam in Middle East. There are 4 centers in Middle East: Bahrain, Lebanon, Kuwait, and the UAE. Okay. So this Pakistan is added in April. Earlier India was there, but Pakistan was not allowed. We struggled 4 years, more than 4 years, to convince NASBA to allow Pakistan here. And they allowed the Pakistan, but then they made a center in India. There are 8 centers in India. You can see the bottom of the page. They established 8 centers in the India. 8 cities, they are holding them in India. And the people from India can take exam there. Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Maldives, Bhutan, Myanmar. These all citizens of these countries can go to India and take exam there. They cannot go to Middle East, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh. They cannot go to Middle East. Right? Or one can go to Europe to take exam. Again on a visit visa. Europe you can go on a visit visa and take exam. Any citizen can go, any citizen of any country can go to, like America can go to Europe and take exam. But in Europe you have to pay international testing fees. Then the exam center in Japan, only people from Japan and USA can take exam there. And then the testing state in Brazil, all South America countries, national and long-term resident can go and take exam in Brazil. So for us, the focus is the Middle East, right? So what I say to my student, okay, try American visa. If you get it, go and schedule your exam for America. But if you don't get it, go to Middle East and take your exam. Okay, risk-free now. Earlier, you see people, I had 3-4 students who paid for the whole study package. They spent a lot of time in study. But when they went to American embassy, they were regular students. They just completed their MCOM or MS Accounting and Finance and gone for USCPA. But they couldn't get the visa. There was risk. Now that risk is over. And now you can freely, with a peace of mind, can focus and prepare yourself. Because you know you are going to get the visit visa of UAE. Okay? You can go one time to UAE because normally you got 2-month visa. And within 2 months, you take all the 4 exams. Like my son taken every 15 days. You can take every week. Okay? If you can afford to live in a. Otherwise, go there for a week or so. Take 2 exams with a gap. Come back to Pakistan. Prepare for 2 more exams. Go back second time. Okay? And this is the way it now works. Very good opportunity for professionals and more for the graduates now. Graduates can become professional with the 4 paper, passing 4 paper and 1 year experience now. Now, let me talk about the USCPA exam. There are only 4 exams, I said. What the name of those exams is? Audit and attestation, business environment and concepts, financial accounting and reporting, regulation. Okay, regulation consists of 3 components. One is the US federal tax, US business law, and US business ethics. You do that. This is the only new paper. Otherwise, all of us have studied the audit. We have studied the business related concepts and environment. It includes financial management, it includes management accounting, it includes performance management, it includes little bit IT, it includes little bit economics, it includes some corporate governance related thing. Everyone has studied during the graduation. Financial accounting reporting, people have studied because that's why 21 accounting credit hours are required. They have studied. But business, the regulation might not have studied. Okay. But I will show you the result, very encouraging result of regulation. Okay. So they are all multiple choice questions are 72 let me talk about just the audit and attestation only because everything is the same in other paper. 72 multiple choice question and 8 task-based simulation. Okay, you get that. So you are given 5 testlets. When you sit on computer, they give you the first testlet. First booklet of exam on your computer, which consists of 36 multiple choice questions. You complete that, you submit that, you get the second test letter. Okay, you do that, you get the third test letter, which has a two task-based simulation. Once you submit that, you get the fourth one. When you complete that, you give the fifth one. You have a 4 hour total to do all the 5 tests. Okay. Now, why they give you one by one? That's a very important. AICP exams are based on artificial intelligence. When you do the first testless question and submit, now computer knows the weakness and strength. And they give you the second testlet according to that. When you complete that and submit the second, they know your strength and weakness of whole area of study. Now they start giving you task-based simulation on that basis. What the task-based simulation is? This is scenario. They give you certain 10 or 8 lines of computation or other thing, and they give you certain question and ask you, you don't have to type, okay? You have to select what to debit, what to credit. There's all possible debit and credit narrations are there. You have to select the relevant one, debit, select the relevant which is credit, and calculate the figure using the what you call calculator available within the system, within the exam system, not your separate calculator. There's a calculator. Use that, calculate it, put the figures. Then go to second requirement, third requirement, you submit this to your test. And now they give you second test based on your strength and weakness there. In this way, they test you. There are 4 exams. Same way they work. Certain have, every has 5 testlets, you can see that. Let me say here, brief. Each paper have 50% multiple choice question and 50% task-based simulation, except Becker, business environment and concept. There's only 35% simulation and 15% written communication. You have to write a 1 or 2 letter reports, small, right? The question may be, your one of the director of the company who is new, he said, what are the major responsibility of director of the company under the business law? You have to write a small letter for him, okay? Telling him what are the major responsibility, no conflict of interest, fiduciary duty, okay? So this kind of list you have to just have a no the power under any law, disability, and certain things you write there. So in this way you submit that. So that kind of written, like Word format you use available within the system. Okay. And through the study package, which will be provided with Becker, you will train for all handling the multiple choice question, doing the task-based simulation, doing the written communication. You will be well trained. Today you don't know how to do all that, but the system would be exactly the same which will be in the exam. Okay, so this is there. And now this is the result. Look at the result, you see, 4 papers. Hardly you will see any institute which have this kind of result. High result, like audit, 2018, 51% result. Back, 59% result. Financial accounting reporting, 46% result. Regulation, which is a new paper for everyone, for every foreigner, new paper, 53%. And then see, same almost result going there, quarter-wise. 2019, quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, then cumulative result, almost same. Almost same. Somewhere you see little difference. Like regulation last year was 53%, now it is 56%. Their result doesn't go like this. That's why AICPA validates the result. They want to maintain the result within the parameters. Students are not, don't become incapable from one attempt to other attempt. It's exam which create a problem. Sometimes go so high, sometimes go so low. So that's the watch. Okay. Results are declared accordingly. That's why result is not available. If it's a computerized, why you don't get the result then and there? You don't get the result then and there. 3 to 4 days after coming back from the exam center, you get the result. Meanwhile, their team evaluated it. They address the hardshipness, right? They address all those things. But quarter 2 and quarter 3 results are always better. It's not advisable that you think of only taking the exam in quarter 2 and quarter 3. They have their own implication. Normally, result is high because they compensate for the changes. They always introduce the changes from the second quarter and also from the third quarter, like from the July 1st or from the April 1st, right? So therefore, they always have in mind in the beginning, question shouldn't be very tough because students got little time to update the changes which came just a few months back. To practice, they had little time. Okay, so that's why slight difference is there, not a too much difference, slight difference. It's not that a big difference that you wait for the quarter 2 and quarter 3. But that's the I compared 2-3 years, so I found quarter 2, quarter 3 results are comparatively better. Okay, so this is the result level. Very encouraging, very encouraging. We have around the institutes which have very low results, like 10%, 15%. Okay, and you see these results. Why these results are good? 2 answers I'll give you. It's not the exams are easy. Number one is they take quality intake. When they get the student, they say must have at least 20 credit hour in accounting, at least 1 credit hour in business, at least must have a 4-year graduation. They make sure. And the second, the education providers have such a system because they know exam is going to take place on computer. They make students so familiar with the technology and the material, they pass. Okay. Here, let's say this is a timeline. Someone applied in June for exam, have the evaluation done, first the evaluation done, then they applied for the board to become their candidate. And they registered him. And then he got a notice to schedule exam, which is about give you 6 months to schedule your exam. You should only apply when you are planning to have exam within next 6 months. Otherwise, you should wait. Otherwise, you have to reapply for exam. Okay. We ask the student when is planning to take exam. He say, I'm planning to take exam after 3 months or 4 months. Or we advise after 3 months, 4 months. They say, we say apply now. If I want to take after 8 months, I say prepare and we will apply after 2-3 months. Okay. So when we apply, we should be ready to take few exams within the next 6 months. And let's say you've taken the exam with a red arrow, you've taken the exam, which you passed. You've taken just one paper and you passed. And from that date, when you've taken the exam which you passed, from that day, you have 18 months to complete the other 3 sections as well. If you don't do that, then your previous exam which you passed at the red arrow point will expire. That's why one has to be very serious student. Normally, my student qualified within 8 to 10 months time, except one who qualified close to the 18 months because he was very senior in his organization, couldn't go to America, take his last paper, then he was very much at the edge, but he passed. Okay, so 18-month period is very important. Once you pass, you need to pass the remaining paper as well within the next 18 months. Okay. Why Becker? Now point is why Becker? The point is Becker pass rate is double of the non-Becker students. If the 2,000 students are passed by all the other tuition provider, the Becker alone student 4,000 would pass exam. If Becker result is 80%, other result would not be more than 40%. Okay, so that's the one thing. Becker is there for the last 5 decades and has prepared nearly 1 million candidates for exam. And year 2005, AICPA started Elijah Watsell Award. There are 10 awards that are given every year to the best students of the whole year. And more than 90% awards go to the Becker student. And to get this award, you need to pass all the 4 exams in first attempt, okay? And no paper you should have less than 95.5% marks. Then you get the award. Like I told you, my son passed in the first attempt, but his marks were from 89% to 94%. None of his marks was for this award. Okay. So otherwise, highest mark in any subject, and no other paper you have less than 95.5% mark, you get the award in that particular paper. One of my students from LUMS, she came from LUMS to us, and she prepared her exam. In audit, she got 100% marks. But she could not get the award because the other paper, one paper, she had less than 90% marks. The other 2 was more than 95.5, but one was 100. We were expecting she will get the award in audit, but he could not because she didn't meet the requirement of whole paper having more than 95.5% marks. More than 2,000 organizations send their employees and students to Becker, which include all the big 4 accounting firms. And rather, top 100 accounting firms of US, all are sending their students for USCPA to Becker. Now, Becker provide a complete system of study. There's a various formats. You can do online or not classes online. All recorded lectures are available to you. You can view there, okay, or you can attend the classes. In Pakistan, we hold the classes as. And those classes are advisable for those students who are coming after graduation. Because the professional can handle these through the video, lecture videos, other system. But the graduate need to attend the classes. Exam focused material, up-to-date contents, expert instruction, where concepts are covered well. Simulation is taught properly so people can handle simulation. Skill practice is provided, and the skill master video to how to do the simulation are there. 400 plus videos are available to how to tackle the simulation. Each chapter's lecture video is there, and the software is just like replicating the contents of functionality of the actual CPA exam. When you will be sitting in the formatting center, you will not find the difference between what is you are seeing there, what you have been practicing at home on your own computer. Homework, multiple choice question and simulations are given. Progress tests are given. 3 mock exams for each paper is provided. E-books and printed books are there. E-flashcards are available. Flashcard is on the front one page, there are questions. At the back page, there are the answer. Right? So that you should be prepared for certain concept and topics. That's there. Okay. Let me discuss with you here. This is the June 2020 statistics about the course. You see here, there are 4 sections: audit, business, financial, regulation, and that's the version. Latest version is there: 3.4, 3.2, 3.6, 3.6, and then the number of units per each. Like there are 6 chapters in audit, 6 chapters in business, 10 chapters in financial, and 8 chapters in regulation. And the number of videos are there, modules are there. In each chapter, there are sections like there are 6 chapters and 60 sections. Second, business has 6 chapters and 39 sections in this way. And the lecture run time is, if you watch the video, it will take you 115 hours to cover all the 4 exams video lecture. Okay? And similarly, there's a practice module, there's a flashcard, there's a homework multiple choice question, 6,483. There are homework on task-based simulation, total simulation of 162, covered task of 386, and at the end you have this simulated exam, like mock exam, which you are going to take in actual exam. They are also 3 per paper are available. That's the whole system. Just wanted to tell you how it works, right? How deeply it's covered the thing. Okay, now just at the end, there are 2 very unique things about Becker is we call Becker's Adapt to You Pro system. There are 2 things: pre-assessment and personalized review session. Pre-assessment is before you take any module, any section in a chapter, you can attempt certain questions. You say, I already done a lot of accounting in my graduation. I know this bank reconciliation, right? There's a section on bank reconciliation. They give you 8-10 questions. If you do it, and then they say you where to start, whether to start watching lecture or start with your multiple choice question, or where you should start. They tell the person where to start. Okay. Let me move my picture from here to there. Okay. So like they say, where do you start? You take a pre-assessment for each module, and it tells you where to start. Whether you start watching lecture, the first, the box around the circle is watch your lecture. So if you get 80% or more marks in that assessment, then they save your time and say, start with do your multiple choice question and simulation rather than wasting your 2 hours in watching a video about the thing which you already know well, right? In this way, you come to know how much you have the grip on the topic which you studied earlier, right? Otherwise, lectures are there for you. Okay, personalized review session. Personalized review session is when you complete certain module, some module, computer continue to watch your strength and weakness, right? And then they ask you to take a personalized review session of that module. You take that, and certain questions are given to you based on the assessment they made about your proficiency during your work. It's artificial intelligence technology of Sana Lab, which is used by the Becker. Okay. On the basis of that, they give you certain question. On the right hand side is the question. They give you certain question. They pick up the question where they found there was your gray area. They pick up certain question which are new material. Okay. And then they give you those questions. And if you do it, then you come to know which weak area you have. Okay. So they advise you the weak area then. Not do the rework on the whole. They only advise you to work on the weak area only. So they can take many times your additional personalized review and see how you are progressing. Okay. So in this way, you will be ready for exam by working through this artificial intelligence. And this is why Becker has a double result. They have invested in the technology. They have invested in system. Their teacher who taught in the video lecture are the best one. So we have 2 approaches. One is that we give you the old system and you study yourself. And the second is, who ask you to study, and then there's a class. In the class, we go through the whole chapter and sort out people's deficiency there. In this way, this system works. And I tell you, I forecast any student working according to plan, 100% result would be inshallah there. because they will be given the study plan by the system itself, how they should study, when they should watch the lecture, when they should do the home practice, when they should watch the second lecture. All system is given to the student. Okay, so this is the everything about that. So Becker is the most trusted name in CPA exam review, and you will be partnering with the Becker if you decide to go for USCPA exam. Believe me, now with this thing coming in the excess of the Pakistani graduates and also professional, I advise strongly professional, they should sharpen their skill and they should upgrade their qualification. USCPA is a qualification which gives you the good portfolio along with your current professional qualification. Your current professional qualification, very good qualification, no doubt in that. But if you add the USCPA, it will add color to it. Okay, so this is what I say. My two sons, both of them are USCPA as well, and they are chartered accountant as well. They're enjoying their life, right? They're also graduate and postgraduate as well. I don't like people having just professional qualification and not having proper academic qualification. That's a very much missing thing. Similarly, I say people, get a qualification, get an international qualification as well. International qualification, the qualification which get in cash and give you the quick certification of the country where you move. Like if you have Pakistani qualification, you move to any country like Middle East, you will get a good job, no doubt. But if you move to Canada, you move to Australia, then you will struggle a lot to become a local qualified person because your qualification is more focused on local. Okay, so I always advise have a qualification added to your qualification, which is international qualification. Even you want to work in Pakistan, you have a local qualification, you will get the opportunity of working in a different environment. Maybe people in practices might be having the opportunity to provide the outsourced work, do the outsourced work and earn the foreign exchange revenue for Pakistan. So this is what I wanted to talk about this qualification. I covered my agenda. And now, if there's any question, please go ahead. I will answer all those questions.
Thank you very much, sir. Sir, we have several questions from different participants. Sir, Mr. Sham is asking, can you share the presentation via WhatsApp or email?
Why you want the presentation? He hasn't listened to the whole presentation?
He has listened, sir. He is from the start of the webinar.
So if anything missing, he let us know. We can provide him, like paper or anything. We can provide him that part. But I avoid sharing a whole presentation because I want people to come and listen properly rather than just putting a piece of paper with their computer or something. If a certain area he can identify, we can share him the screenshot of that part of the presentation, no doubt in that.
Okay, sir. Sir, we have a question. What about BSc Honours from Oxford Brookes University?
Oh, no, he's a complete FCA along with Oxford Brookes University, then he has a chance, okay? I tell you, any professional qualification with a graduation already with that, okay? That's a very good match to go for USCPA, like a chartered accountant with a 2-year graduation, very good. ICMA with 2-year graduation would be very good. And the ACCA with the graduation, maybe Oxford Brookes, maybe other graduation, very good. Anyone with A-level, very good, because A-level also count for an evaluation. But anyone without the graduation, like ICAP without graduation, yes, there are few states there. You can do that. ICMA, okay, you can do that. But ICMA without graduation will not. I tell you in advance. But ACCA without graduation can do because they have the CAT as well, and they have the what you call ACC as well. Even they don't have Oxford Brookes. But has to be full qualified person, not just Oxford Brookes University. Not just Oxford Brookes University. If they have just Oxford Book University, also some other graduation, yes. But only Oxford Book University will not do unless he has completed also the ACC. But ACCs also will. But for ACC people, I must say, they are only one state at the moment, which is accepting the ACCA. Hurry up, because maybe that state may go. Earlier there was a California. Now California is closed for ACCA. There's one more state is there. Okay, so we are searching for more and more. Let's see if we get more.
Okay, sir. Sir, can you please provide estimate cost for all 4 exams, all inclusive training, assessment, and exams?
Okay, let me tell you, it will cost you, apart from your traveling cost, it will cost you around 4,500 US dollar. I can give you the breakup. Breakup is, you can note that, breakup is evaluation cost is around $300. Then applying for examination is around $150. Then applying for NASPA 4 exam around $900. Then international fees $1,426. That's the total exam fees. And the Becker, we have a 2 program. One is called Advantage Package, other called is the Premium Package. Premium Package has in it a crash course as well. Advantage Package have everything except the crash course at the end. A lot of my students have not done the final review, we call it. They did the Advantage Package. Advantage Package is $1,600. And the package which is called the Premium Package is at $1,900 to $2,000. So that put together, it can take you $4,500. I tell you, please listen carefully. Some people may find this cost is more. Let me tell you, people even after doing MBA in America go for this course. And you know the MBA cost per year in America is $35,000. Okay, so this professional education are always very affordable. Like I went to England to do my CA, UK. I spent only £3,000 only. But the per year fees was £10,000 in any university. But I did the professional qualification, it cost me only $3,000. Because I went there, I studied with a course provider, which was at that time ATC, and they charged me for each subject a couple of £100 and the exam, it all cost me $3,000. Whereas the university 1 year was $10,000. Similarly, this $4,500 estimated basis, right? This is not a big cost. Okay, so that's the total breakup. I just gave you the breakup as well, but roughly the $4,500 total cost.
Okay, sir.
Because this package which will get it, which will be valid at least for Advantage Package is valid for 24 month access. And 24 months, you can pass exam easily if you have focus. But the Premium Package is unlimited. Okay. Another advantage in the Premium Package is unlimited, no time limit. Okay. So this is the breakup of the cost and the total estimate of the cost.
Sir, please repeat the cost of Becker package.
It is for the people who are attending, is $1,600 for all the 4 papers. Complete system, video lectures, books, homework, mock exam, skill master videos, everything is included in $1,600. And for the Premium Package, which have 2-3 additional things. One, time limit will be unlimited, not 24 months. Second, they have final review exam like a crash course on top of the normal course. And the third, additional multiple choice question, 1,100 additional multiple choice question to practice. And that's going to be $1,900 for the people who are attending. Because in the COVID-19, they have reduced the prices. Yesterday, 10th was the last date. I don't know, they might have it. I think they have extended up to 15th of June, these prices. So they are the low prices at this time because they want the people to study home. They are selling more. So on the volume basis, they have reduced the prices for that. They are not reduced the prices that people are buying less. They say their fixed cost is met and therefore they are in position to provide at a lower cost. So at the moment, our standard price of Becker is 1700 to 1800 for the advantage and 2100 for the premium. But in these, 1600 and also the $1900.
Okay, sir. Exemptions for CA qualified Pakistan and ICAEW.
Just a minute. Anyone? Say again.
Sir, exemptions for CA qualified Pakistan and ICAEW qualified, estimated credit hours, and which state you prefer.
There's no exemption, gentlemen. The exemption is only for 8 bodies, which I shown you in my slide number 2. Okay? Only those bodies have the MRA. Rest, everyone, even the England and Wales chartered accountant have to do all the 4 papers. No exemption. No exemption. Let's be clear. Only exemption is only because exemption is these members from these body only have to pass 1 paper, not the 4 paper. That's the list. Rest all have to take 4 papers. Okay? Rest all has to take 4 papers.
Okay,
so, second, what was the second question?
Second question was, sir, estimated credit hours.
Credit of what? I tell you, ICAP without graduation going to get 120 to 126 credit hours from the state which I have in mind. And they keep on changing. Believe me, I advise someone and learn the state has changed. So I talked to the evaluation agencies and got another state for them. So I cannot say that state or that state. But the basis is, let me say, we'll advise you fully in evaluation. When you are interested, we charge you $100 and give you full support in evaluation. But that undercharge is not an additional amount. That will be adjusted when you buy the package from us. That $100 will be adjusted in the price of the package. This is not. This is just to get on board only those people who are serious. Okay? Not doing the window shopping. That's the only thing. Because that wasted our time. I have to talk to many people. Like, you see, we have a student from, I think, Saudi Arabia. No, yesterday I got a call, it was from UAE. Okay? He's a ACCA, not with the Oxford Brook. He's a ACCA, only CAT and ACCA. And then I thought he will be okay with the California. But I thought before I asked him to apply and let him waste his money and getting the unsatisfactory report, one I should talk to California State. I spoke to California State because we have a contact there through Becker, and they say they don't accept anymore the ACCA. They sent me return form. So I shared with that person, sorry, this is the state. So I was thinking of refunding his $100 because I cannot. Then Becker US helped me in finding out a state which is still accepting ACCA, a new state. So then I asked him, yesterday I had a telephone discussion with him, advised him to go to that state through that agency. So we have to just look for 2 states, two things, 1 state and which evaluation agency will give the more credit hours, right? So on that basis we advise. So I cannot say you that state and that agency, there's no general rule for that. So if you would be interested, we'll do our research work and give you the state where it will be sure you will be getting the eligibility. And I said, anyone I say you are going to be eligible, I would offer him, take the material and start his preparation. Okay, pay the price. If his evaluation not successful, he will be refunded everything other than the $100 we get in the beginning. Other than that, everything will be refunded to him even he has used the material or whatever, right, for a month or two, no issue in that. Just to save people time for study, because it's so odd. You think you want to do this study for CPA and then you keep on waiting for 8 weeks about your evaluation report. That's not good. You have prepared yourself, you should go on board as soon as possible. For that, we decided to refund if the evaluation become unsuccessful, and our advice was involved.
Okay, sir. Sir, Mr. Marriage is asking, BSc in accounting from Asia University is acceptable?
Say again what say?
BSc accounting from Asia University is acceptable? I think so. He want to ask Bachelor of Accounting.
Yes, yeah, 129 credit hour, that would be acceptable.
Okay, sir. Sir, 2-year BCom with ICAP affiliated.
You see, he would be having two things. He would be having a bachelor in accounting plus certain of CA credits as well. All together will give him good credit hour.
Okay, sir. Sir, there is another question. 2-year BCom with ICAP affiliated is eligible?
2-year BCom
plus ICAP affiliated.
Yes, there is a chance, but I cannot say 100% chance. There is a good chance, but I won't say it's 100%. If it's a BCom plus he has completed the intermediate and also has done 3-4 paper of final, yes, he has a good chance. But I don't say he has 100% chance, but he has a good chance. He should try, because spending $250 around on evaluation is better than adding up some qualification while his current education was enough. I had a student in past who intermediate and graduation were successful. So my is a very good chance, but I won't say 100% chance, very good chance.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, we have a question. ACCA plus BSc honors. How many credit hours we will get?
Which honor? Oxford?
He has only written an ACCA with BSc honors.
No, BSc honor must be Oxford then. Oxford is a part of ACCA. There's not a separate credit hour for that.
Yes, sir. It is Oxford Brook, huh?
Huh?
It is Oxford Brooks.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's a part of ACCA qualification. He won't get much. He will get only probably 8 extra points because the project is submitted only. So, so it means sure he has he done A level as well.
No, this is personally me.
Okay, it means he has done CAT as well. He has done CAT.
No, I have not done CAT. I came.
So how you became then the ACCA by?
Because I passed the CA enter, and then there were 2 years gap. So I started ACCA. I completed my ACCA. And then I have done Oxford Brooks. Then I have also a member of ICAW. And I have 20 years plus experience working with
No, don't talk about experience. Experience is not valuable, counted here. I think if you share with me, the chances, the good chances there, but you see, you have got certain exemption as well, because when you do CA, intermediate and went to ACC, how many paper exemption you got there?
4, 2 papers.
Oh. Huh?
2.
Right? That will be excluded from your ACCA, okay? And Oxford Book will add 8 points. And ICAP will add few points, okay? And your
ICAW?
Huh?
ICAEW? They
will also 3 paper I think you taken.
No, I have not taken papers. I have done this what is called
No, nothing for that. Nothing for that.
Experience of examination.
I know pathway.
Yes.
No, nothing for pathway. Nothing for pathway. Okay. So you will have a Oxford Book. Okay. You will be having the advanced stage of ACCA included there. You have few credit from CA. You will be eligible. Don't worry, you will be eligible.
Okay. My next question is, if I pass CPA from one state, is it will be eligible for all other states as well? I can do practice
No,
in.
the chances are given state by state. If you happen to be, if you need to work, you see, so no matter which state you are having holding. But if you say, I want to go to Chicago and live there and practice there, then you need a license of Chicago state. Okay? Then this, your exam will be transferred to Chicago and you will be applying for the license from Chicago and then you become the member of Chicago. It's not that exam is uniform, therefore you can port it to any other state whenever you need. But license at the time you can have a license of one state.
Because I'm planning to move to US, so
When,
I don't know.
Saying. What I'm saying is now better you pass the exam as soon as possible and add some more qualification, academic qualification. So once you want to go to Chicago, Chicago may not accept the ACCA and Chicago would do the evaluation. They will give you Oxford Book evaluation. Then you have done some other program as well, like a lot of people now doing the Bachelor in Accounting honor from the Asia University. So you will be having certain things that will help you to go. Actually, let me tell you one thing. If you, let's say you gone to a state A because you have a ACCA qualification. You pass their exam, became their member. You want to move yourself to another state. They will say, hi, what was your education when you started? What is your, even the current credit hour, does that meet our education requirement? If that meet, your old exam will be transferred and you will become of that member. Let's say, oh, you have nothing other than the chartered accountancy and ACCA, which we don't accept, so we cannot accept you as a member here. So you have to then work for their requirement after that, because exam you have done of a CPA are enough. You don't have to do exam again, but only you have to watch for the education requirement of that state. Is it clear?
Yeah, but if we do like this master, which now ACCA is offering, is it will help?
How many credit hours would be there?
I don't know, but they are offering after
Credit
ACCA.
hours if that is the 40 credit hour something, that will help you. If it's just because I've seen in UK top up a credit with Northampton University only 30 credits. 30 credit nothing, 12 credit hour only, because 30 has to be divided by 4, right? What is the credit hour? I said, not credits. UK has a credit system. What are the credit hours?
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Gentlemen, this step by step you go. First, you worry about taking the exam of USCPA, passing them, becoming the member of some. Then you settle. I don't know whether you get the visa and immigration, everything done. If you get it, then you meet this deficiency education requirement of that state and have your case transferred to that without taking any further USCPA exam. These things go always step by step there. You can't open a mouth and eat the whole elephant in one state. I can tell you that. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, we have a question from ACMA with CPA USA. What is scope in GCC countries?
What are you saying?
ACMA with CPA US. What its
Yeah.
scope in GCC countries?
Very good. You should call to any other fund in the GCC and ask them what is the difference between ACMA and CPA US. He will know that. So he will be having a good portfolio. The SSA USCPA is the best qualification in whole GCC. Okay, top qualification in whole GCC. His ICMA as well, very good.
Okay, sir. Sir, there is a question. Your center fees.
Pardon?
Here, one person is asking about our center fees.
Our
Center fees. Do we have any fees?
center, no. They only pay Becker package price, that's all. Everything covered there.
Okay,
Okay?
sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, we have a
They
question.
only pay the price for advantage package or premium package, whichever they choose. No additional fees they pay.
Okay, sir. Sir, we have a question from Mr. M. Arshad. $100 fee cover all support until the applicant passes exam and get license. What is the license fees in general for different states? Do I need to have license for a job or in outside USA?
Let me tell you, license mean membership there. There are two types of license. One is the membership only, and the other is the practice. The practice, you pay the practicing fees as well. License mean membership. Okay? So in order to be called yourself USCPA, you need to have a license. Otherwise, you will be misrating. You are just CPA exam qualified. So that's why we say license. Okay? That's the one thing. What else Mohammad Sahib is asked?
Sir, he is asking $100 fee cover all support until the applicant passes exam and get license.
No. We are not charging $100. We are just at the price against the package. We only advise you for your evaluation so that you should have a successful evaluation. We are not charging anything for that. We are just getting this 100 for the again your advance against the purchase of package later on once you are evaluation successful. But as a friend, we can guide you for the lessons as well. There's not big thing in lessons. The main thing is the exam. Eligibility for exam. Next is just application. There's no problem in the next. You would ask us, okay, how I fill the application for lessons, we can advise you for that, but that is not a difficult process. Main process is which state is my education will be accepted? Will I get the good, successful evaluation? Which company? Which state? That's the main thing, you see.
And sir, please clear that this fees is for this $100 and it is adjustable from the Becker fee. Becker cost.
Yes, I'm saying that. That is not additional fees.
Yes.
It's when he will be buying the Becker package, advantage package with 1600, he will pay additional 1500. 100 he has already given us.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Sir, please advise whether BCom along with ACMA Pakistan and SEMA UK is eligible.
Very much eligible.
Okay, sir. Sir, this is all. Anyone wants to ask any other question? Please feel free to ask. You can open your mic as well one by one if you want to ask some question. That's all, sir.
Hello.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sir, Mr. Asad is asking something.
Okay.
Sir, I just completed my ACCA along with Oxford Bucharest. That's it.
Okay.
And ICOM like CAT also.
Yeah.
So is it okay?
Yeah, you are eligible. You are eligible.
For most of the
Yes.
state or for just one state?
Huh?
For most of the state or for just one state?
No. Hardly 1 2 state. Hardly 1 2 state.
Okay, sure.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah. Actually, we are lucky that we got some state, but the ACCA, otherwise all the state was closing down for ACCA. I would request my ACCA friend that if they want to think of ACCA US, they should decide early.
And is it
Because
possible
it took
to
3 days to trace a state for which is still accepting it. That also with the help of an evaluation agency.
and
So I
is it
told them
possible
that you will be doing the evaluation of my student. They said that we will be doing the evaluation. Then I returned to the state that do you accept their evaluation? They wrote me, yes, they accept their evaluation. And if the evaluation done by them, then we will accept the ACCA. They wrote me that. I said, fine.
okay. And is it possible to we just do registration
Huh?
at the moment? Is it possible that we do just registration process at the moment and give the paper later on or study later on?
No, that is up to you because once you get your evaluation, that
Yes.
is good for 2 years. 2 years. Once
That is valid for 2 years.
2 years.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
Yeah.
That's all, sir. That's all. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay. I want to say conclude by saying just one or two lines. One is you see, think about whether you need an international qualification like this. If you need it, sit down and decide. If you decide it, then take a step forward as soon as possible. I saw people inquiring something, then getting quiet after 4 or 5 years, then again waking up and starting inquiry again. And you see, in qualification, achieving qualification is good to achieve at the early stage. Like if someone say me now to do PhD, I have a good interest for PhD. But doing now at this stage of my age may not be very paying back and attractive. So basically, two things, your marriage in time and your qualification time, they are the two best things, you see. If you marry late and then when you are at the old age and your kids are still very, very young and you are not able to support them well or guide them well or control them well because you don't have the energy to control them, so then you start regretting, you see. Similarly for qualification, wasting not having qualification for 10 years, 15 years and earning less than the potential you had, it's a lot of opportunity cost. So basically, the qualification has to be timely as well. If you think you in future can be facing a situation where you need to yourself internationalize yourself, or may have to internationalize yourself because of your own reason or because of your children's requirement, then holding international qualifications is just an international passport of qualification. One should not ignore it. So if you find it can pay back you well in future, then don't waste time. Think of things. We are here in Pakistan, alhamdulillah, bringing people a lot of qualification. This is one of the all best qualification. This is one of qualification. A second qualification, we brought it to Pakistan along with the Asia University Malaysia, Bachelor in Accounting for those professional students who never had the Bachelor in Accounting honor degree. And similarly, Master in Business Administration, fast track for professionals who never had a degree or have just 2-year degree, want to add Master along with the professional qualification. That's a fast track MBA there. And fast track PhD is also there for professionals where they don't have to do MPhil and they don't have to do coursework. Straight away they can start the research and complete their PhD. We are doing all what we can do for this society to develop the talent pool in Pakistan. We are doing our best. And we are only working with the best qualification. We don't think we should offer any qualification or advise any person for any qualification which will not pay back in their life and maybe termed as a waste of time and life, time and money. And we don't believe in that. We believe in putting the people on right path and right track. So that's why we are bringing these qualifications for them. And it is now up to them. They should evaluate and decide about that. Right? Thank you very much for attending this webinar. So I'm thankful to my team as well, whoever in this webinar. Okay, but this is a message. You see, any profession who was attending this, they should think of, instead of doing the professional qualification the way they did it, should their children or relatives should not do it in a different way, a better qualification, less struggle, shorter route, fast track, smart way of doing. Is it not advisable rather than just doing the way routine work we have done in our life? Now, time has changed and many qualifications are available in a smart way, in a more dynamic way. So one should think of those. So this is not knowledge is for you only. This knowledge is all the people you know within your family and friends. Because being a professional, a lot of people come to us for career counseling. So we can only counsel them well if we have the better knowledge of available opportunities and options in the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for your valuable presentation and time.
Thank you, Sir Maqbool, for your valuable time and comprehensive presentation. Comprehensive presentation professionals. I also would like to thank you for my Karachi and Lahore team for organizing and making this event success. I would also thanks to all participants. Thank you.
Thank you.